Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tequila Talks. And I got a good friend of mine, a special guest today, Afranio Silva from Perfect Home Inspections. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, George. How are you, my friend?
Blessed, brother. I'm blessed. I'm definitely happy to be here with you, and for the audience to get to know you. I mean, I know a lot of people in the industry know who you are. You're also not only a good friend, but you're also my inspector. You've done inspections on all my property, but the Mexico property, I couldn't send you to Mexico. I couldn't send
Yeah,
you
I
to
know,
that
I know.
one. I would have loved for you to go to that one,
Kind of too far for me to go, but anyway.
I know, right? But you're like, oh, I can only do Illinois. I'm like, all right, that's understandable. But yeah, man. For the people that don't know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, like George said, my name is Afranio. I'm from Brazil. I've been living here for now 23 years, if I got right on my mind right now. I'm a home inspector for about 12 years, will be in June, 12 years. I've been doing home inspections in the Chicagoland area. I'm married, but my wife is Manuela. She's 40, and I have a 12 years old son.
And I know you're heavily involved in your son and sports and whatnot. You know what I mean? I see that a lot in your
Yeah.
stories and whatnot. Tell us a little bit about
Yes,
that.
yes, yes. Yeah, he does. Officially, he does football for middle school. Not middle school, but for club that relate to middle school. Last year, they are the champions. They won their Super Bowl for his age, so that was pretty cool. And off season, he does wrestling as well to get better at football. And now at the school, he's doing track and field, more in the field part than track because he's a big boy. He can't really run too much, but he's all involved in sports, try to be active. And we always challenge him. Like I give example, last weekend I challenged him to run 2 miles. So he run around my neighborhood. He went like 1 mile and come back 1 mile. So, I always try to make sure they are active, will do better than us when we are young for sure.
No, absolutely. I mean, you're a great role model. You're a great mentor to your son. You push him to excel. And
Yep.
I'm guessing to be even more active than you were when you were a child. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, definitely.
you
That's the
know,
goal, man. I think in this life we need to make people around us better than us. You know what I'm saying?
amen.
If you have that goal, is that mean you putting yourself in a higher position. You try to put people around you in a higher position than you. That's the goal in life. There's no way that can be wrong in your life. So at least with my wife and my son, I try to make sure they are better than me or better than the people that raising me. At least try to do always better. So yeah, that's
Amen. I love
definitely.
it. I love it. I know the show's called Tequila Talks. Do you drink tequila? Is tequila one of your drinks that you drink when you
I
have a
can
drink or
definitely
not?
drink tequila, my friend. I have no problem with that, and I like it. Especially na reposado one that I think not this one maybe. Yeah, this one right here.
Do you have a go-to tequila drink? Is there a particular favorite that you have?
No, not really, man. The reposado always goes easier than the white one or the normal one. So, but I love it. And then tequila, or margaritas, whatever has tequila is good. So I don't complain.
That's why I like you. We have that in common as well. You know what I mean? Awesome. So let's get into this. Like I said, to get to know you better. What inspired or motivated you to get in this industry of home inspections?
So it was a changing life. Okay, I spent another, I don't know, 8 9 years work for a person in a company, and things didn't went well. So I I decided to start find something else, and good a friend of mine at that time recommended me to be a home inspector because I communicate well. I'm a kind of handyman as well. I know a lot of things. I'm active, so he throw me there. I was like, hey man, how about you become a home inspector? I was like, man, I don't know anything about it, but I'll help you out. I'll let you. I'll give you something to you to start to research about it. And that change in life, it was really like go back to Brazil or stay here. All right, just so you have idea. So we decided to stay here. We find out that my wife was pregnant. So that switch was like really, really messed up on that time. Okay. So I need to find energy, from the bottom to really restart again here in this country. So And then home inspection was amazing. I think fits really well with me. Even when I was in Brazil, my family, we had like a hardware store in Brazil. My dad was like a handyman, remodeling guy, doing remodels in Brazil. So that was in my blood since I was what, 8 years. Okay, so home inspection is something related to that. It got right on me, and thankfully, been doing really well for the past 12 years. But that was the moment that I got into home inspection, and again, a good friend of mine on that time, he mentioned that to me, and was like, okay, let's find out. And here I am, with more than what, 6, 7 thousand inspections so far in the last 12
Ooh,
years.
so you've
Yep.
seen a lot of homes, which
Oh
means,
yeah.
which, yeah, no, which leads me to, one of my nicknames is also Curious George. You know what I mean? So, since you've seen so many different properties, what is the weirdest thing you've ever found during a home inspection?
Man, there's one home on the South Chicago in a basement in a corner has some type of jail, okay? Like a 4x4, 3x3, you know what I'm saying, in the corner. And the fun thing is the space between the bars was like a little square, let's say 5x5, 6x6, right? And there was a slot like this in one of the sides. And so I was thinking, talking to the client, man, this is probably a dog cage. I was like, no, dog cage, they're not gonna make it like a squares big, like by 5x5 or 6x6, because these dogs can put their head through it and then get stuck or something. So, and it was like square, so that doesn't make sense to be for dogs. And that has that slot that fits like a plate. So I don't know what was it, but it was weird as hell. Okay. Relate to weird stuff. I think that's one that sometimes come up with my mind easily when people ask that. Of course, we see a lot different repairs or really bad repairs or even foundation that columns that are really crumbling. Think about a wood column, right? And the wood was doing this. That was so raw that the wood was like splitting off. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we see a lot of things, but funny stuff. I mean, that jail thing, I don't know. That was kind of creepy and weird at the same time. But
For sure. Do you remember your first property you inspected when you started your career?
yes, I honestly I do, and I always play. So this friend of mine, right? When I got my license, I got a software, to work on reports. I didn't have experience on different softwares, right, or different reports at all. So this guy's like, yeah, I'll have inspection for you. It's a condo in Aviston. No one will be there. You go over there and you do your job and send me the report. And here's a real estate up to this date. And I went over there, inspect the condo, build a report, it's sent to him. It's like, man, this is a piece of crap. I don't want this report. Like, what do you mean, man? It's a software. I just fill information. No, that's not the report that you should send to your clients. And I'm trying to help you because I'm the real estate agent. If I got this type of reports, I'm not gonna send you clients or help you, or refer you to other clients because I don't like my clients to have this type of report because it's not good. I think you need to find something else. Like, man, I don't have idea. I never. Can you send me some reports? So he sent me like I think 4 or 5 reports from previous inspections that he had it with the samples that he kind of liked it, and that's the good companies were using at that time. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just starting. So I remember I spent out on that time. I think it was $700 for one report. Next day I was spend another $700 on another report,
My Lord.
another software because I had to do it. So I do remember that inspection really well because of that fact that I have to spend like $1,400 in software. And the second software that I got in that time is the one that I still using up to this date.
Wow. Okay. So it was
Yes.
only the initial investment of those two, and now you're good. You haven't invested any more on
Yep.
softwares. No, that's good. I know right now, or in majority of your career, probably my career, we deal with a lot of first-time home buyers. What are the top three things you think that they should absolutely pay attention during a home inspection?
First time home buyers, they are always concerned and not spend money in the next year or two. All right. They are tired already. They are making so much efforts to buy a home right now. Um, so I think from the real estate agent, he need to understand their clients and find out what really worries them about it. If they cannot afford like a replacement of furnace or AC that will cost what $5,000-6,000, whatever it is, if they cannot afford that in the next year or two, they should try to look for homes that has a newer AC or newer furnace, right? Same thing for a roof, right? You can't buy a home that needs a roof replacement if you're a first time home buyer and you don't have any money. So I think most of the issues that I have with the first home buyers is that piece of understanding the buyer from the real estate agent. He need to understand what this buyer need and can afford so they can find the right property for them. Because then I come there and I found, hey, how your roof is bad or your AC and furnace is old. It's like, man, I don't have money. They get scared off and they don't buy it, right? So top three things that they should look for it definitely are things that needs a lot of money to replace. But at the same time, the real estate needs to try to find out how those things are so they can save a little time and even saving money, right? Without even hiring me. Sometimes if you ask the seller, at least I see some agents that do that, asking the seller, hey, do you have idea how old is your AC? Do you have idea how old your furnace or your roof? Those are three big tickets in a home. And if you know they're advanced before the home inspection, you can kind of help clients make a little decision right there, not waiting, not paying me and waiting for me. Of course, that's my job. I get it. But I think they could get that help before. So, and then it is hard at the same time for first time home buyers because they don't know much, right? Because then you go into foundation, right? I've been so many homes that had issues in foundation. They are first time home buyers. Sometimes lack of knowledge of the real estate agent that doesn't know much or don't care. But then I get to that point, it's terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like yesterday, I did a second inspection for a lady in Lake Zurich. I think the last time I did inspection for her was like in November. Single mom with a little girl. And the first home, we have our issues in the foundation. Like, really, like, can you guys see this? Is right there, right? But maybe the real estate agent didn't have much knowledge. And I'll say they have to, but if they can, it's much better. Honestly, this lady was crying on that inspection because it was painful to her to hear that because that was the house that she picks, And then yesterday I did another home for her in Lake Zurich, so it's not like bad neighborhood or anything like that. So I did Lake Zurich, and of course the house was much better, and she was happy. Everything was smiling. The girl was running around. So again, foundation and all big ticket items, furnace, AC, roof. I think could be three, four things that agents and clients of first home buyers they need to look for. The rest will be something small, maybe a window that doesn't open well, or a receptacle that's wrong. It will be something more easy to figure out or fix in a couple of days or days to come. So
Oh, awesome. No, thank you for sharing. That definitely helps out, especially people that are interested in buying, what they need to look out for, what they need to see. Let's talk about the sellers, the people that are selling these properties. What is one thing sellers always kind of forget to fix before the inspection? Is there any recommendations that you can give to sellers like, hey, take care of these things before you put it on the market?
I think the bigger recommendation is hire me to do inspection. if they if they hire someone to do an inspection prior to put the house in market, I think they can save a lot of money and make even more money. Uh, Once I go to an inspection for my buyer and I go to a house and there's a list of 50 items, that sometimes scare the buyer, right? If you do that prior to it, if you're willing to fix things, right, depending on the market, but if you're willing to fix things, that list to go from 50 to 10 items, right? Because you're gonna fix the most of those things, and then that home will be more appeal for whatever is trying to buy the house. So, and sometimes as well, my experience is when you go talk to sellers or sellers are at home, they're really proud of their homes. They don't think anything is wrong. When someone start to point finger on it, they don't think so, right? So it is a trick question to find one thing, One of my most common items that I see is loose toilet,
Sorry.
always wobbling toilet. Sometimes if the windows are old, they're gonna have a broken seal. Okay, so that can help a lot. Uh, you got to make sure everything's functioning. If you look to the sink example, the stopper needs to be working. The drain needs to be fine. Nothing be loose. So it is always like a bunch of small little things, but they are kind of feel comfortable in living like that. They sometimes for them are not a problem. So I think the best advice I can do for a seller is hire a home inspector. And this
Great.
guy will go over there and give you a list of things to fix, and then you make the decision. Um, it's a hard question as well because it all depends on the seller and the market that we are. You know that. There's
Yeah,
a
no,
lot of
absolutely.
SEs, but when you come to there, have issues, foundation issues, and people are gonna ask you for it. Again, sellers sometimes they are living in their house for so long they think the house is perfect in the way it is because it doesn't bother them until I show up and start point fingers on defects or things that are not working right or properly. So
Yeah, these sellers
hire me.
think it's perfect, but the only thing that's perfect is perfect inspections, right?
Perfect home
Based off your
inspection,
logo,
yeah.
there you go. It's perfect. Um, in your opinion, how important is a home inspection? And what is the biggest mistakes buyers make when it comes down to these inspections?
So um, we know a lot. We have, I mean, like I mentioned, I think by myself, I did good 4 to 5 thousand inspections in the last 12 years. As a company, maybe 6 to 7 thousand inspections in the past 12 years. We know a lot. We know a lot of issues. All right. Clients, they don't know. Uh, Builders or contractors, sometimes they don't have the idea what things can cause or not, even if they have some knowledge. I've been so many inspections with daddy that's a contractor, and I point out things that I didn't know that. I was like, it's right there. I'm not creating anything. It's there. It's bad. Oh, I didn't see that before. Like, that's why I'm here. So think about it. I'm a person that goes to a house to look for problems. I'm not looking to see how good it is. I'm looking for problems. My eyes is direct to find the issues in the house. So that's how important it is a home inspection. You don't have the knowledge. Okay, you're gonna rehab the house. Great. You still, maybe a month ago, I have a client who was buying a $30,000, $40,000 home in South Chicago. I couldn't write one thing good in that house. Nothing was good in that house. I'm not exaggerating. He paid me to go over
Wow.
there. I'm telling you, foundation wise, is columns, structure for the floor, attic, roof, you name it. There was no one good thing on the house. And I'm not exaggerating. And the guy hired me to inspect it, to kind of tell him more or confirm what he saw. And he was gonna gut rehab and build again, kind of thing. And the agent mentioned that he did that already in another property. It's like, okay. So is you need it. We know a lot. We know a lot. Like I can't tell you about loans. I don't know
Right.
much about loans. I know the interest is a little high, but it's coming down, but it's going high down. I don't know what's going to happen next year. You get a more insight. So that's why I need you to loan make the loan for my home because you know the stuff. I know my stuff. A buyer know my stuff? No. A buyer know your stuff? No. So that's why they need technically us or everyone relating that transaction, right? So they need to get that expertise, and of course, that costs too.
Yeah, no, no, you nailed it right on the head right there when you said, when they bring their 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 family members or whatever that are contractors or whatnot, you go there to find problems. They go to, they don't go there for that. They go to see what can be repaired and this and that. But yeah, I mean, you've seen thousands of homes. A contractor probably hasn't. You know what I mean? Or the tío or tía or sobrino parent. You know what I mean? So yeah, let the professionals do what they do. You know what I mean? And don't try to be, I don't like to use the word cheap, but frugal when it comes down to investing, because this is an investment. You're
Yeah.
investing in a home inspector. That's an investment. You know that you're investing in a property. You know what I mean? It's not a cost. It's an investment. So you got to change your mentality and your mindset. And I know, speaking of red flag, we're talking about red flags. Is foundation something you instantly see right off the bat? Is that one of the first red flags you see when you're like, oh man, this house is not a good property? Or what is something you see instantly that could be a major red flag?
I'll say it will be foundation, and then seeing sometimes I can even see from the outside. Depending on the foundation, of course, you can see in the outside, you can see reflection in the bricks, right? Bricks start to crack and settle. Someone already took point or a displacement where the bricks are, displaced from each other. So definitely, when I'm doing my walkthrough outside, I can have idea what to expect in the inside. And sometimes, of course, it'll be a foundation issue that can be noticed right off the back, like right when I'm inside the outside. Of course, there's roof sometimes, but most of the time the roof is in good condition. If the roof is bad, they are kind of already know at this point. At least in my experience in the past couple of years, when the roof is bad, they come and tell me, "Hey, I know the roof is bad." Like, okay, great, let's keep moving. But foundation, you can have idea from the outside, but of course, when you come inside, you can confirm things that you notice outside. And I be in some situations that I did notice, even like a small section that's visible, but the wall was kind of, bulging towards to the inside of the house. And I show my client, hey, look at the wall. It's doing, a little curve right there. So we'll try to see in the inside. And then we go inside is much worse. So definitely foundation is something that can be a really big red flag and can be noticed from the outside if you know what to look for it.
Sure. And then people that are obviously hiring you for an inspection, you recommend them to be present, right? Because you're going to show them
Yes.
things. What's your recommendation on that?
Yes, I always like my clients to be present. And one thing is related to my family. Okay. Think about it. I usually easily can do like 2, 3 inspections a day. If I don't have my client to explain things, to show things, when I get home and do the report and send over to them, they're gonna have questions. So when I get home, that I'm having dinner with my family, I'm gonna have a clients calling me asking questions, right? So at inspection time, I have that time to go with them and explain things, and they can see with their own eyes the issues or the location of the issues. So when they get the report, it's more like a reminder list than oh my gosh, what is this? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what is this, what it is. Let me call the inspector. And then I have a dinner with my family or watching TV with my son, whatever it is, a game. So I do recommend my clients to be. I know sometimes it's hard to happen, and I'll be available anyway after. But my percentage of calls, I think, is less than 1%. Okay. It's really rare that I have a client calling me, asking me questions. Why? Because they go to the inspection. I explain everything. So they should not have, many questions. So yes, they should be at the inspection. If cannot attend, yeah, that's fine. Not a big deal, but they should. I'll
No,
say
yeah,
99.9% of my clients attend the inspections.
good. So if you're buying a house, make sure you're present there and see,
Yep.
especially, if it's two buyers or whatnot, both buyers. Um, I get this question asked all the time because an inspection is not a warranty. So let's say, for example, you inspect the AC, it's in good working condition, but 2 months later breaks down. That's something you can't, you know what I mean? Can you explain a little bit about that? Because I get asked questions like, I had an inspector, everything was fine, but 3 months later, this broke down. Like, what the heck? You know what I mean? So I don't know if you can put some insight on that.
So inspection is a snapshot of the time, date of the inspection. We are there on that specific time and that specific hour. In that moment, as we're gonna put in the report, everything was working. If you fail in 24 hours, it's really not my fault. I mean, we can't predict the future, even though we can have idea what's going on, right? If a furnace is 5 years old or 20 years old, the chance that the 20 years old will fail sooner is much higher than the 5 years old. Doesn't mean the 5 years old is not gonna fail as well. So home inspection is a snapshot for the time there to get idea what to expect. right? For the future. We do have warranties out there you can buy to kind of give you a protection, like you have warranty for cars. But at the inspection time, no, we are liable for things that we say, of course, right? If we say something that's not real, something can happen. Yeah, we're liable for those things. If we do an error or something on inspection, yeah, we're liable for that. But other than that, there's no warranties for anything that we say is good or working order at the time of the inspection, right? And if it's not working, hey, it's not working. You had the opportunity to talk to the seller to try to fix or get credits or whatever. If you didn't, you knew about it already. So you buy knowing that something was not functional or working or damaged, whatever was the case. I don't
Absolutely.
know if that answered your question.
Yeah, no, no, thank you for sharing. What do you love about inspections? Is there anything particular you love about doing inspections?
So I, in my life, I hate to be boring. Okay. So I always need to do something different every day, right? Even my past job, that was me. I was dealing with different clients, different employees, different locations, different areas, towns, driving, things like that. Home inspection for me is there as well, right? I'm always with the new people, uh, new cultures, different areas, different homes. It's always new for me every day. It's not like the same thing, same thing. So I think that's what caught my attention. Home inspection, even in the past, is there's like, oh, that's what I like it, because I don't like to be behind a desk or something doing the same thing every day. I like to meet people. I like to talk to people. I love to meet the cultures. Sometimes they try to guess which country I am from. They got most of the time they got wrong. They think I'm Cuban. They think I'm Puerto Rican. The Puerto Rican think I'm Cuban. The Mexican think I'm Puerto Rican. It's like a mix. They don't have idea. When they find out I'm Brazilian, it's like, oh my gosh, yeah, I knew. It's like, yeah, right. So that thing bringing me alive every day, you know, being with different people, find different thing, new challenge. Uh, couple this week I found an issue in a house that I never saw before, so that was kind of fun to see it. So yeah, that was one thing that bring me alive in a home inspection is be different every day.
Awesome.
Of
Yeah.
course, always trying to be better and know people, try to identify type of people because that's another thing. Our clients, and problem, they are different. In a home inspection, they act different as well. Even culture-wise, different cultures, they act different in a home inspection. So every time I have a different cultures or different people from different countries in the inspection, I need to treat them different as well. So that's interesting for me. I love those things. I need to understand people, and that makes my day much. I love it. Just say I love it.
No, that's
It's
good. I mean,
different
you
for
got to
me.
love what you do. You know what I mean? If you don't love what you
Yeah.
do out there, get a different career, get a different job. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So you got to love what you do because if not, it's just you're not gonna be happy. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And let's get to know you a little bit better. I know we talked about your son earlier. When you're not doing home inspection, you're not on the roof. What do you like to do for fun, or what do you like to do when you're not working?
If I'm home, of course, spend time with them. With the sports with my son, sometimes I go attend the games or the meets from the school. If I have the opportunity to be there to see him doing his sports. But I like to cook. If I'm kind of home, my wife kind of abuse me because she wants me to cook, especially if I'm home. And of course, I love as a good Brazilian and from south of Brazil, I'm a kind of cowboy guy, right? I like to grill a lot. I have like a knife collection, so if I think this week I already grilled like twice. Okay, for dinner. So I got home, something is ready for me to grill. On top of that, I'm a Christian, so we go to church as a family on Sundays. Sundays afternoon is a Brazilian church in El Grove, so we attend over there as well. And also we go to American church on Sundays morning as well with my son, so he can understand better. He born here, he does speak Portuguese, but as well he understand better English. So we go in the morning in American church, and then we go to a Brazilian church in the afternoon, and spend time with my friends, with my close friends. We always try to do some get together and having fun, karaoke if is the case, or play some card game or dominoes or whatever we have available to do it, to have fun.
Awesome, awesome. Are you
And
competitive?
travel, of course, I like to travel.
Hmm.
Always, this year will be the year of short trips, 3 days trips.
Awesome.
Next year, I hope I can get a bigger vacation. Just some changes are happening, so I need to stay home. I'll put it that way this year. But have travel, have some fun with the family, enjoy views and quiet time is always good too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Any destinations for these short trips this year?
So we have a wedding in Pennsylvania in June, so we probably another 2 3 days over there, and we're going to an island in north of Michigan. Don't make me say the name because I'm not gonna be able to say the name of the island, Mackinac Island, something like that. I've been there twice. Art was little when we went there with him, so now he's older. We're gonna take him over there. There's no cars allowed in the island, so you get a ferry to get to the island. It's a 12 miles away, miles round. So we're gonna take our bikes to go all around the island too. If you don't take your bikes, you can rent bikes over there as well. So we're gonna probably spend there. Those are the two things for sure that we're gonna do it. I might go camping, glamping, not really camping, but glamping, because that tent thing is not my thing. In Caledonia, Wisconsin, but that's so far that I know pretty much. I don't know how the end of the year will go for Christmas and New Year's. I'm not sure if we're going to stay here or go see some friends on the south.
Awesome,
A
awesome.
little
No, that
warmer.
sounds great. Yeah, absolutely. I don't like the cold. But here, let me ask you a couple of fun twist questions, tequila twist
Yes.
questions. So, if a house could talk during inspection, what do you think the house will say?
Depend on the house, you're going to say, go away. Go away. Get out. Run.
I don't want to know what's wrong with me. Yeah, stay away.
And then some house will say, hey, do your thing, my friend. We're good here.
Yeah, no, no, for sure. And then from a scale to one to I need a double shot, how bad was the worst house you ever inspected?
I need a triple shot. I
Triple
mean,
shot, huh?
that one that I mentioned that everything was bad was
Yeah.
really bad. But I had a couple then that I was like, hey, can you just find another home, please, and leave this alone? I think in 12 years, I probably said 2 or 3 times that to a client. After kind of give a little eye contact with the agent and, because you should not say, not, don't buy the home for a client. But there's 2 or 3 homes that I kind of had to say, what, please find another home. If you can't afford another home, just find another home. So I'll go to the triple shot on those for sure.
No, for sure. There was not one positive thing out of the house, right? If you had a magic wand and you could fix one thing about every house before inspecting it, what would it be?
Ah, one thing. It'll be the foundations. I think the foundation is scare clients a lot to the point like I'm done. Yeah, foundation.
Okay. And then who's someone in your life you would like to sit down and take a tequila shot with?
Right now, um, I'll say my older brother. Um, he's still alive, but it is a person that I always like to have a drink with. I remember last time he came here was like 4 years ago, and I even paid to him to come here. He's like, man, come here. I need to have a beer with you. And that was one of the first things that I did when he came home, like late in the afternoon on that day because the flights comes in the morning. We had a beer, so that was a good moment. So I think I could do that again with him, my older brother. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. And I know you gave some advice earlier to the people watching, but is there any other one piece of advice you give to people watching you about what you do, your services, what to look out for? What can you share with us?
Related to the home inspections is if you could get a little bit of overall knowledge about homes, will help you find a better home for you. You still need a home inspection. Again, we have so many information under our belt. That's for home buyers. For agents, I'll say they should know a little bit more about home inspections as well. They probably educate their clients a little better as well. They'll save them time, to narrow that search and find the right home for each one. And like I said, in the personal life, follow Jesus Christ and be a better person and surround your people that are better than you with people that are better than you, and try to help people be better than you as well. That means if you want something good for you, all your surround to be much better than you try to evolve with those people. So I'll say, you said one advice, I give you three: buyers, for agents, and for personal life.
No, no, thank you for sharing. I appreciate it, man. That's awesome. And then, did you get a little something, something I sent you in the mail?
Yeah. Look at this.
Awesome,
Nice
awesome.
little nap.
But
Probably
thank you.
after here, I'll go to a nap.
After the
Easy.
tequila shot to relax you, so you can go take a little nap before you can go
There
do
you
more
go.
inspections. There you go. So if you want to pour yourself a shot, but thank you, my
Let's
friend,
do
so
it.
much for spending some time with me and with us, and sharing your insights, your knowledge.
I'll do half a shot, and tonight I'll do the rest.
Okay, ya dijiste. But thank you so much. Cheers. Salud, my
Cheers,
friend.
my friend.
Thank you
Salud.
so much. I can't wait. This was amazing. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you on the next inspection.
Yep. I'll be ready when you're ready. If you need me, you know how to find me, my friend.
And if anybody
My
wants to
pleasure.
contact you, what's your information?
So you can call 224-308-0807. 224-308-0807 is perfect home inspection. And my name is Afranio Silva.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Have a blessed day, and we'll keep in touch.
Yes, sir. Thank
All
you.
right.
Take care.
Adios.
God bless
Bye
you, man.
bye.
Bye-bye.